Let me start with a simple but powerful question. What if I told you that in just 10 minutes a day, you could rewire your brain for better focus, deeper happiness, sharper memory, and stronger resilience? Today, we're living in a world that's constantly pulling at our attention, draining our energy, and stressing our minds. You might be wondering, how can 10 minutes a day really change anything, especially something as complicated as the brain? The truth is, when most people think about change, they think about big, sweeping transformations. We tend to assume that real change requires enormous effort, complete life overhauls, and constant grinding discipline. But that's not how your brain works. Your brain is not changed by overwhelming force. It's changed by consistent, repeated experiences. It's not about doing something massive once. It's about doing something small but powerful again and again until the brain begins to shift, reorganize, and strengthen itself. And there's a scientific principle at the core of this, something called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to rewire itself based on experience. Every time you perform a behavior, think a thought, or feel an emotion, certain neural circuits are activated. If you repeat those experiences enough, those circuits get stronger, faster, more efficient. Just like a muscle gets stronger when you exercise it, the brain gets stronger in the pathways you use the most. And the good news? It doesn't take hours. It doesn't even take half an hour. Research shows that targeted mental practices performed for just a few minutes a day can create profound, lasting changes in the structure and function of the brain. So when I talk about fixing your brain in 10 minutes a day, I'm talking about harnessing this very real biological process. I'm talking about deliberately practicing small, specific habits that over time lead to a massive upgrade in how your brain works. Mental clarity improves, emotional resilience builds, focus sharpens, memory strengthens. And the best part, you're not working harder, you're working smarter. Let's talk about what happens in those 10 minutes. One of the simplest and most powerful things you can do is control your breathing. You might think breathing is automatic, and it is, but conscious control of your breath taps into a part of your nervous system that governs your stress levels, your alertness, and your emotional state. Slow, deliberate breathing patterns send a powerful signal to the brain. Things are safe, calm down, focus. In just a few minutes of slow, controlled breathing, inhaling deeply through the nose, exhaling longer than you inhale, you can shift your brain chemistry, lower cortisol, increase focus, neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, and move yourself from a frazzled, anxious state into a calm, alert one. Another powerful 10-minute practice involves visual focus. Your eyes are not just tools for seeing. They are actually part of your brain. They regulate a huge number of brain and body functions. A simple daily exercise, take a few minutes to practice deliberate visual anchoring. That means picking a point on the horizon and holding your gaze steadily on it. This simple act taps into the circuits that control focus and attention. It trains your brain to stabilize and sustain concentration, which carries over into your work, your conversations, your goals. A few minutes a day of steady, controlled visual focus strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, planning, and impulse control. Now, you might be thinking, is it really that simple? Breathe and look at something? It is that simple, but it's not simplistic. These tools work because they engage the ancient, powerful systems of your brain and body in ways that are designed to make you more capable, not just for a few minutes, but for the long haul. You can also use those 10 minutes for intentional mental rehearsal. Mental rehearsal is a practice where you vividly imagine yourself performing a task or overcoming a challenge. When you do this correctly, really feeling the emotions, seeing the details, your brain activates the same circuits that would fire if you were actually performing the task. Over time, this builds strong neural pathways that make success feel more natural, more automatic. Whether it's preparing for a big presentation, starting a fitness habit, or navigating a difficult conversation, 10 minutes of mental rehearsal a day can set you up for better real-world outcomes. Another powerful tool in those 10 minutes is gratitude. And I'm not talking about generic gratitude like writing down 3 things you're thankful for. I'm talking about deep, specific, emotionally charged gratitude. When you spend a few minutes recalling a time someone went out of their way to help you, and you really feel the emotions associated with that memory, your brain releases a cocktail of chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, that not only make you feel good, but also strengthen the circuits involved in motivation, resilience, and relationship building. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good activity. It's a neurological training tool that can rewire your brain for optimism and grit. Let's also talk about the importance of resetting your mind throughout the day. Most people let the day run them. They move from task to task, problem to problem, carrying all the emotional and cognitive residue with them. But if you take just 10 minutes, mid-morning, mid-afternoon, whenever you need it, to reset your mind, you give your brain a chance to clear out the clutter. Right. This can be as simple as a few minutes of deep diaphragmatic breathing, a short walk outside while focusing on wide panoramic vision, or a quick body scan to release physical tension. Resetting your mind this way restores your ability to focus, process emotions, and perform at a high level for the rest of the day. Some people will tell you that change is all about motivation, that you need to be motivated to create new habits. But motivation is unreliable. Motivation comes and goes. What changes the brain is action, repeated, deliberate, consistent action. 10 minutes a day is a low enough barrier that you can stay consistent even when motivation is low. You don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to show up for yourself day after day with small, intentional steps. And the cumulative effects are extraordinary. Over weeks and months, your baseline level of focus improves. Your emotional set point shifts. Your ability to recover from stress speeds up. Your creative problem-solving abilities expand. Your sleep improves, which in turn reinforces all the other positive changes. It becomes a virtuous cycle where small actions build stronger circuits, which make bigger actions easier, which then reinforce the changes even more. One of the beautiful things about the brain is that it responds to what you do most often, not what you intend to do. You could have the best intentions in the world, but if you don't act, your brain doesn't change. On the other hand, even the smallest action done repeatedly can create massive transformation. That's the opportunity you have starting right now. Some people wait until their life forces them to change, a health scare, a burnout, a crisis. But you don't have to wait. You can take control today, starting with just 10 minutes. You can make brain optimization a part of your daily life, just like brushing your teeth. Something so small it feels almost effortless, but over time it becomes the foundation for everything you want to be, do, and achieve. It's not magic, it's biology, it's not wishful thinking, it's applied neuroscience. You have the power right now, today, to start building a brain that works for you, not against you, a brain that supports your goals, your growth, your health, your happiness. So don't underestimate the power of those 10 minutes. Your future self, sharper, calmer, more capable, is already waiting for you to take the first small step.